Hi, welcome back to the Acting Career Expert Studio. My name is Dan Warner. Today we're going to be talking about something that's very important and it's very vital to your acting career if you want to progress and move forward, and that is putting together your reel. And a reel is very important, and there's a lot of questions surrounding the reel, which are start with how do I do that? What if I don't have any experience? What if I don't have anything to put on my reel? Can I put a self-tape on my reel? And the list goes on. And we're going to cover all of that, including how to best put your reel together. So if you stay till the end, you'll get some really great information. Before we jump in, I have to brag about the actingcareerexpertstudio.com. It's coming, man, and it's going to be super fantastic. If you go there now, you can get on the wait list. It's going to be live very soon. I've mentioned this in a couple of other videos. It's got over 50 video workshops covering just about everything you can imagine. Live Zoom coaching templates, audition tracker, career tracker, PDFs. It's just critiques on headshots and self-tape advice and anything and everything you could possibly need to move your career forward, to move your ball forward in your career. So go to the actingcareerexpertstudio.com, get on the wait list, because it's going to be awesome. So let's talk about your reel. Let's talk about how to get a reel, what to do with your reel, everything about your reel. Let's start with the big complaint with new people, and that is I don't have any material for my reel. And what do you do if you don't have material for your reel? A lot of actors, and a while back, it used to be that you had to wait till you got a job. So you had to wait till you got a job, and then you'd book the job, and then you would shoot the job, and then you would wait for the job to come out on TV or in the theaters, and then you had to go figure out a way to get that footage because it's not readily available to the actors, which it should be. But once you shoot a job, that footage is not easy to access. The director has it, the producers have it, the showrunner has it, the studio has it, and then you have to call around and get permission to try to find out if the editor's got a clip of you to send to you. Virtually impossible back then. Now it's a little different. There's a company called Joe's Reels. A little shout out to him. joesreels.com. You tell him the episode you're in, and if you watch it on TV, you can find out about where it is, and he'll go find it and get it for, I think it's $35 to get you a clip of your performance in a TV show or film. The problem with that is sometimes the footage in your show, the show that you shot, if you got a little co-star, unless you got a guest star or something like that, which had a lot more footage, but if you get a tiny little co-star spot, you would be amazed, or maybe you wouldn't, but if you're new, you'd be amazed as to how little footage you actually get. How little FaceTime you actually get. And what you want to ultimately do with your reel is you want whoever's watching it, a producer, a director, a casting director, an agent, or a manager, if you're trying to get an agent or manager, you don't want to look like a little 2-bit player, like a one-line player, but you could have had literally two pages of dialogue, a back and forth, and by the time the editor's done with it, you've got maybe 10 seconds, and it's not a very good 10 seconds. I did an episode of NCIS New York, and I was so excited because I was going to get to work with the great Gary Sinise, and I don't know if you know who Gary Sinise is, but he's a brilliant actor. He was Lieutenant Dan in Forrest Gump. He's just a magnificent actor. So I get to work with Gary Sinise. Awesome. So, and I have a pretty good part. I'm a lie detector, a polygraph detector professional, and I'm going to have a conversation with him. And we do. And it's fantastic. And I can't wait to see it. And then I see it, and I almost cried. I had about 10 lines. They cut about 5 of them out. Whenever I was talking to Gary, I would have thought the camera would have been on me. No. The camera was over my shoulder on Gary, watching him listen to me. And then when he was talking, the camera was on him, watching him talk to me. It was wildly disappointing. I got to meet him. He was a really nice man and true professional, and it wasn't his fault. He was the star of the show, and so what they tend to do is they give all the face time to the star, to the money, to the guy or girl who's carrying the show, if you will. And so when you get a co-star spot, or day player, or even a guest star spot, sometimes you end up being you end up looking like an extra. I did an episode of Entourage years ago, and I wasn't a fan of the show, but I got a spot on Entourage. I was playing a father, and when they got ready to shoot my scene, the camera was way far away, and I thought, and I know photography, so I'm looking at the lens and I'm looking at the camera, and I saw one of the monitors, and I'm like, God, I'm pretty far away. And then I realized they're like, okay, we're getting ready to go, and I thought, oh, they're going to have me get mic'd up. Mic'd up means you put a microphone on. They hide the microphone. They wire you up for sound so they can hear your dialogue. They didn't mic me up. They didn't wire me. Couldn't hear me. I was way back there, and you couldn't hear me. And then I'm waiting, and they're like, okay, you stand here, do this, this, and this, and action. And then they had the scene going on, and I said my line, and I thought, well, they won't even be able to hear. And they're like, cut, do it again, did it again. I'm thinking, I didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say. This was years ago, so I didn't say anything. They finish, and they're like, okay, moving on. And I thought, well, maybe they're gonna redo it and do a close-up of me. Or no, that was it. The second AD came and said, okay, you're wrapped for the day, thanks so much. And I thought, holy crap, I just turned into an extra. I was a background actor on Entourage. Now, I got paid as a principal because I was on screen and that's what they cast me as. But my point is, if I waited for NCIS New York and Entourage to put my reel together, I would have a really crappy reel. I'm an extra here, and you see me for 7 seconds, 5 seconds on NCIS New York. I mean, it's disappointing. I have other stories. I won't go on and on about it. I did a show called Vegas years ago, and when they shot it, I was a detective, and I was going into a barn with the lead actor, and the barn was kind of shadowy, and there was a dead body in the barn. And I go in, we do the scene, and the camera's moving around, and they're catching all our action. And then the director says, which I was so excited, he says, okay, on this take, I want you to just stay on Dan. Stay on Dan the whole time. And I was like, oh, this is going to be good. So they stay on me the whole time. Cut to, the end of this story. Yeah, I started talking before I was even on screen. You see me walk into the barn. I'm in the shadows. And as soon as I kneel down by the body where the light is on me, they cut to the main guy and they listen to him the whole time. I got zero footage from Vegas. So the list goes on. I literally have 5 more stories just like that, but I'm not going to tell them because they're all the same. You think it's going to be great, and you're so excited, and then they cut. I was on NCIS, the original NCIS, got cut out the entire thing. So that happens all the time, and I won't beat that dead horse. But what that means is, and I know you're going, okay, get to it, and here it is. You have to create your own content. Okay, when I first started, I was working, I was in class with this guy, Franco, and Franco is an actor buddy of mine, very smart, and he says, hey, I want to shoot this thing. Well, this was years ago, and I was like, shoot a thing, okay. He goes, I'm having trouble, putting my reel together, and I want to shoot some footage of a scene from, I think it was a Ray Liotta movie. And I was like, okay. I said, how do we do it? He goes, well, I got a guy who's got a camera, and I got some sound. I got a sound guy, and I'm the maintenance guy at the Women's Club of Hollywood. So he had keys to the club, and he said, outside there's a giant bright light at night that lights up the parking lot. And he goes, I think it would be great light. We should shoot it, in my car. And I was like, oh, okay. I didn't know. But what ended up happening was we rolled down the passenger window. The camera was coming through the window right at me, and it was right on me. Microphone was in my lap. Light was coming down from the building, lit us perfectly, camera right on me. And then what we did, because it was supposed to be done in a place that was rainy and stormy and all that, we duct taped a hose to the roof of the car and turned it on just a trickle, and had obviously the window rolled up on the driver's side. So we had rain coming down on the window. It was, there was 3 guys shooting this. And I did a whole monologue from the movie. I can't even remember what it was, but I did Ray Liotta's part, but it was right here on me. For 20 seconds, I got to do my thing. It was the best thing I had on my reel for years. And I had it right up front so people could see me act. And then they saw me in little bits and pieces here and there. Now, my reel obviously has gotten much better over the years. But when I started, and this was before creating your own content was a thing. But my buddy Franco was like, hey, we gotta create something, because if you're gonna wait for Hollywood, man, you're gonna be waiting for a really long time. You have to create your own content. If you want a good reel, create your own content. Now, it is becoming easier and easier to do these days because everybody's got a camera. Steven Spielberg just shot a music video for the first time using an iPhone. So Steven Spielberg shot a film. I just heard this 2 or 3 days ago. Shot a music video on an iPhone. I'm sure it was incredible. You've heard of people shooting films on iPhones. It shoots in 4K. Man, it's a good camera. If you've got great light and good sound, you've got to have good sound. You can create your own content. Write a little piece. Steal a piece. I don't care. I don't care, because all you need is 10 or 12 seconds of the camera right here and you acting. That's all you need. If you are in an acting class already, find people, like-minded people in your acting class. Go online, find a group on Facebook. They're out there. People are out there. There's student filmmakers that are out there. People who are dying to shoot stuff. Whatever you do, make sure the content is good. Your production value needs to be quite good. Otherwise, it's going to look like a student film, and you do not want it to look like a student film. It does not have to be long. 7 to 10 seconds on this clip, 7 to 10 seconds on that clip. Change the location, change the lighting, change your wardrobe, do a different, not a monologue, but do a different scene, and put together tiny little things that you can use for your reel. Because I know it's tough in the beginning, and you go, well, I don't have anything, and I got to wait until I book something, and then what the stories I told you, my God. You're going to be waiting forever to get good content to put your reel together. And if you're looking for an agent or manager, a lot of them want to see a reel. You don't have to have one, but it helps for them to see what you can do. Of course, you can have your in-person, meeting with them and great headshots and all that, but ultimately they want to see your reel. They want to see if you're a good actor or not. So take the time, write your own stuff. I mean, that's another thing. You can write your own material. And again, you don't need 45 seconds. You need 12, 10, 12, 15 at the most. Get 3 different pieces, 15 seconds long. Now all of a sudden you've got a 45-second reel. That's all the casting people are probably going to watch anyway. About 15, 30, 40 seconds. They're going to know when you watch something, good actor, bad actor. They know like that. They know instantly. They don't need to watch the whole thing. If your reel's 4 minutes long, brother, you got to cut that down because it's too long. Cut it down to under 3 minutes, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, even better. They never get to the 2-minute, 15-second mark, I can tell you that. Also, always, always, always put your best stuff first. Don't save the best for last. No, not on your reel. Put your best stuff first in that order. Best, second best, third best, because they're probably not going to get to the last thing. Create your own content. Super important. If I would have known that early, I probably would have booked more work, better work earlier in my career. So that is super important, but you just have to think outside the box and be creative. And again, production value, super important. Okay, and now this. Okay, here's the deal with all my free videos here on YouTube. I've been a working actor for over 20 years, and I've been a coach for many, many years as well. And I put together these videos to flatten the learning curve and take some of the trial and error out of becoming an actor. Like if you're brand new and you don't know where to begin, or if you just started acting and you want to, say, brush up on some technique, you can just come here, learn from the techniques that I've used to get work as an actor. Now, these are techniques that I've used over the years. They're not opinion and they're not conjecture. They're things that have worked for me. And since the pandemic, acting coaches, gurus, and the like selling online masterclasses have sort of come out of the woodwork, and most have little experience. Not all, but most. They're usually actors who have a few credits. Some were never even actors. They were in some other form of the business or some other branch. So they just don't know what it's like to actually go through the entire process of booking a job as an actor. But what they do is they give you some generic fluff, acting buzzwords, and then they charge you money for it. That's not right. Okay? You don't want to spend hours practicing the wrong information. Otherwise, you'll just get better at doing it wrong. If you have general questions about becoming an actor and you want to know how to get started or you want to refine a technique, I want you to be able to come here and find out for free without paying anybody for it. That's very different from what I do on my paid site, the Acting Career Expert Studio site, with all the workshops and the live Zoom coaching and all the other stuff I have. What I think has value about what I do is that I will teach you step by step how to become a working actor, including but not limited to how to choose an acting coach, how to approach an audition, what to avoid in the industry, which is important, how to improve your self-tapes, what to expect when getting a call back, and the list goes on and on. What that does is that prepares you for a career as a working actor. That bit, learning how to best approach the industry and hone your skills with a workable plan, that I think is worth paying for. Now, if you agree, I'd love to have you join us at the Acting Career Expert Studio, which is going to be live very soon. Very excited about it. You can go there now and join the wait list. But if not, that's fine too. Don't pay anybody to explain how to become an actor. Just watch my videos here for free. Enjoy.